Hi guys, so we're going to talk about the possible moves. This is the second video. We're going to talk about the tiles. Vamos a hablar de qué son los movimientos que se pueden hacer. Si no han escrito esto, por favor escríbanlo ahora. If you haven't written this down, please put it on pause and write it down in your math notebook. Okay, en su cuaderno de matemáticas. Okay. Okay, so for this one here, sentence frames. If you use these sentence frames to explain what you are doing, this is going to be so much easier, okay? Because this says exactly what you are going to do. These are the only options. That's it, okay? So please write these down. Por favor, escriban estos en su cuaderno. And these are the things I expect you to write, especially when you're doing your Desmos activities. Cuando se están haciendo las actividades de Desmos, estas son las oraciones que espero que usen. Okay, so let's go through this. We're going to talk about adding. What does it look like when you are adding? Okay, we added something to both sides. Agregamos algo a los dos lados. So whatever happens, we're only doing one thing to both sides. Se está haciendo una cosa a los dos lados. Okay? So for this example, we are going to add two negatives. So we're going to take two of these and put them in here. And put the other two in here, and then we'll write the algebra. Okay, so there they are. So we added, what did we do? We added two negatives to both sides of the equation. There's the two negatives, there's the two negatives, that's what we did. Agregamos dos negativos a los dos lados. Aquí están estos dos y aquí están estos dos. Okay, now, how do you show that in algebra? Well, let's go back. So we have the same equation. Now, what's the difference? Okay, the difference is that we added these two negatives right there. Add, there's a plus sign. Ahí está el signo de más, porque agregamos. Digo aquí adentro los dos negativos, the two negatives. If we had taken away two negatives, it would be minus two negatives. Okay, so now let's do subtraction. I'm going to take away. Voy a quitar. Eso es restar. And you'll see when we do this, we're going to have a subtraction sign, and we're going to be subtracting. And we have, I'm going to take away these two, and I think these two. And then we'll see what it looks like down here. I wonder if I can. No, I can't. I was hoping I could move this bar here. It gets in the way, doesn't it? I don't see that I can. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back. So I'm going to take away those two. Those are the ones I took out of here, and I took two out of here. Aquí los pueden ver que los saqué. Dos positivos, so es menos dos de los dos lados. Minus 2 and minus 2. So you can see right there, I had plus 2, and then now we have minus 2. Okay, minus 2. Next, we're going to divide both sides into equal groups. Okay, this is what's important here. Okay, both sides have to be divided into the same amount of groups. So if I make 3 groups here, I have to make 3 groups over here. Notice I cannot make 3 groups over here. So I can make 2 groups, puedo hacer 2 grupos aquí, y puedo hacer 3 grupos, pero eso no funciona. Tienen que ser el mismo número de grupos, ¿ok? Y los grupos tienen que verse igual, like in here. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so pueden ver aquí son dos grupos y aquí son dos grupos. Y aquí estos son igual a estos. Y este es igual a este. So what's important that each side you have two groups on each side. Son dos grupos de los dos lados. Now, these two have to look the same and these two have to look the same. Okay? So this has to look like this one and this has to look like that one. And that's it. And how you do the algebra is you put divided by 2. Make sure you divide everything. Everything has to be divided by 2. Once you divide by 2, you'll be able to get rid of those. We've talked about that. But right now we're just setting up. So let's move on. How do we set this one up? Let's see. How are we going to multiply both sides to make equal groups? How many equal groups? So what this is notice this green square is smaller than this one. So let me show you what happened. Deja enseñarles lo que pasó. Okay. So what happened was, and let me get some paper, was we divided so we don't have a whole rectangle. No tenemos un rectángulo completo. Okay? I have only 1/3. Okay? Nomás tengo un tercio. Nomás tengo esta parte o esta parte, lo que sea. Okay? So, para completar la X, necesito las otras partes. I need another one and another one. So I need 3 altogether. Okay? And I don't want to add pieces in there because if I add something, I would have to add it here and add it here. And that's just going to make everything complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and multiply it by 3 to make 3 equal groups, and take this and multiply it by 3. And there you go. So now I have this piece and I have that piece. Well, they kind of look like this. Let me show you what they look like. So I have like this, and then I have this one, and I have this one. They're all, you gotta imagine they're all exactly the same. They're all exactly the same. And when I put them together, I get one whole rectangle. Okay? And one whole rectangle. That's how we do the multiplying. Okay. And lastly, the last one is multiplying by -1. And what that does, it changes everything to the opposite. Lo último que vamos a hacer es multiplicar por -1. Y eso lo que pasa es que hace que cambie todo a lo opuesto. So we look here, the opposite of a positive x is a negative x. Okay, the opposite of +1 is a -1. Okay, they do not go across. These are not opposites. X is not the opposite of -1. Those are not opposites. Opposite is positive x, negative x. Okay, opuestos son positivo x, negativo x. Estos no son opuestos. These are not opposites. Because this is a -1, this is a positive x. They're not opposites. Okay. So what happens, let me show you what happens when I multiply by -x. So these are going to turn green because the opposite of red is a green one. These are going to turn purple because the opposite of this red one is purple. And this is going to turn red, and this is going to turn red, and that's going to turn red. There we go. Did you see that? Let me show you again. See how they change color to the opposites? So the opposite, and there we go. Okay, so what does that look like algebraically? You can put a 1 here, multiply the whole thing by -1, or just put the opposite, which is just kind of like this negative sign in front, which can be interpreted as the opposite. Con la álgebra se puede poner este negativo enfrente o se puede poner -1, cualquiera de los dos, okay? And that's all there is. So those are your 5 moves. That's all you can do. 5 moves. All right. Have a good one. Son 5 movimientos. Son las 5 opciones. Es todo lo que pueden hacer para poder resolver estos problemas. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.